What's up, everybody? I'm back with another real, not fake review, and today we're talking coolers. Okay, so this is a long time coming video. I've had this cooler in June. It will be 2 years I've had this cooler, and probably been wanting to do this for a year. So this is only the third cooler I've owned in my entire life. I'm 39 years old. First cooler was an Igloo, hand-me-down. That was around when I was a kid. And I took it when I was like 18, moving out of the house. Had it for quite a while, probably almost 10 years. And it finally just started falling apart. So I ran down. Well, I realized having that cooler, when you put ice and food and drinks and all this crap in a cooler, it's heavy. I mean, it's really heavy. And if you got to go far, it's terrible. So the first long walk I had to do with that cooler, it was like a mile, and I was dying. So I said, I got to get rid of this thing. I need something with wheels. I mean, in my opinion, all coolers should have wheels. So I went to Walmart. I grabbed another Igloo. Of course, it's not a great one. It was $30, but it did have wheels on it. I used that for a few years, and it just wasn't big enough. The wheels were really small, 4-inch wheels. It wasn't that great. I mean, it was fine if you're going across the cement or whatever like that. So I said, man, I gotta find a better cooler. So my wife said, just go get a cooler. Who cares how much it costs? I could have went the Yeti route. I mean, I didn't really have a budget. So I started checking out the Yetis, and the Yetis are kind of terrible. One thing I found out about Yeti doing research was that typically on a cooler it'll say Yeti 70, and you would think 70 means 70 quarts inside the cooler. Turns out that's not true. If you look on Yeti's website, a Yeti 70 is more like 62 quarts or something like that because it's so thick. So when I'm at Dick's Sporting Goods, where I got this, I started looking at these Yetis, and they're really small on the inside. I mean, tiny. A 70 quart is what I needed minimum, and the inside of that thing was so small, you couldn't put anything in it. I would have needed, and the next cooler up from that is like a 100 Yeti, which is like $700, and the thing is like 6 feet long, and it's just insane. No wheels. It's already heavy with nothing in it. So I'm looking around and I see this bad boy. This thing is awesome. This is the Igloo Trailmate. And as soon as I started looking at this thing, there's so many features on it. I was like, I gotta have it. I gotta have it. And let's just go over some of the features. Actually, one of the features I'm noticing now is missing. It's probably in the back of my car. But here is what it looks like. It's got these big tires, which is awesome. I've actually taken this down some actual trails. Bottle opener. There's one on each side. Of course, typical Igloo has cup holders on top. The handle. Let's see the handle. You press in the middle, and it's really smooth. It's aluminum. One of the things I read about these handles, people were buying these things and they were complaining that the handle didn't work properly, and they would return it. And I thought, well, something's got to be weird there. So what I realized, it's not even doing it now, but before, if you didn't press, maybe they did fix it, because I remember someone was saying if you didn't press it in the middle, then it wouldn't unlock if you just pressed it on one side. This one seems to be working. Maybe they fixed it, but I know it was a big complaint that if you pressed it on, let me get a better view here, if you pressed it on one side or the other, that it wouldn't open. And sometimes, oh, there we go. See, now it's doing it. So that's what people were complaining about. You have to press it right in the middle. So here now it's doing it. It's getting caught. So, I mean, if you press it right in the middle, I mean, you're trying to unlock both of the locking paws on on each side of the handle, so you got to do it directly in the middle. See there, sometimes there it likes to catch. But I mean, who cares? You're supposed to be pressing it in the middle anyway. Of course, people complain. They like to complain about everything, and they returned it, which is a shame because this is an awesome cooler. Here in the front, there's a basket. So I keep stuff in here when I go camping. I got a headlamp. But usually I throw silverware in here. I keep silverware in here, and sometimes when I wash it, I throw it in here, and then the water will just drain out. So that's kind of cool. But you know, you can put whatever you want in there. This is another cool feature. Oops, sorry. This is waterproof, watertight, whatever you want to call it. They say it's for a cell phone, but nowadays most cell phones don't even fit in these things. But I got like a scrubbing pad in there and a pot holder. Something cool. I might do a review on that at some point. One thing to keep in mind is this is not attached. You can take it off. And I say keep in mind because if you're at like the beach somewhere, someone could grab this off of here. I actually thought about epoxying this on here and making it permanent. I haven't gotten around to it, but just something to keep in mind. It does have this gasket, so I mean that's why I say watertight, waterproof. I mean obviously it's angled, so if water comes down, it's gonna just run right off anyway. Here's the other bottle opener on this side, and in the back here, this is really what made me want to buy it immediately. And they're actually in my car, but right here it comes with 2 fishing rod holders, which is awesome because I like to go fishing, and sometimes I'll just throw food in here, throw my fishing rods in the rod holders, and then because usually most lakes we go to, you have to walk to get to the lake anyway, so it's just one less thing to carry. On the rod holders in the back of my car, and then it has the typical drain down here. Oops, sorry. Typical drain to drain out any water. And we're not even done with the features. Let's go to the inside. Here's some more awesome stuff. I'll talk about that in a second. So here it has a sliding tray. Now if you look at the Yetis and some of the other ones, you don't get this tray. They make you buy this separately. $40 or something stupid. So it comes with this tray. Here's the other thing that I love. Right here. This comes off. And I have 4 kids, so this thing comes in handy. You have this tray. You pull this out. And that sits right there. It's awesome. I actually have a camping trailer that I keep this in, and I keep it on the edge of the trailer. So when I open the back up, this is actually waist high. So I can use this, as you can see, I've used it as I don't know if you can see that. I've used it as a cutting board, make sandwiches on it. I mean, they call it a butler tray or whatever. But it's awesome to set here while you're grabbing stuff out, especially if you have kids. So that's another awesome feature. More features than a Yeti will ever have. And let's talk about the most controversial topic, how to keep stuff cold. Guys, do not use ice in your cooler. Ice is meant for drinks, and that's about it. Please do not put ice with your food. You probably already know this, or you've noticed it. When you have ice in a cooler and you throw a package of hamburgers in there, steak, the water will find its way in there. And the next thing you know, your ice is melted and you have meat floating in your ice. It's unsanitary. Do not put ice in your cooler. I mean, I know there's a million ice retention videos on YouTube. There's so many of them. That's fine if you're just having drinks in a cooler, which is rare. I mean, I guess if you have a picnic, that's the only time you're ever going to, or a family get together, you're going to have ice in a cooler for drinks. If you're going on trips, get an ice pack, okay? Get an ice pack. Get these. I have 6 of these. They're not cheap, I tell you that. I think there's $30 or $40 for 3 of them. You can find them on Amazon. These are the most awesome ice packs ever made. I'm telling you. So if you look here, a 5-pound pack equals 7 pounds of ice, 0 to 18 degrees all day. I mean, this thing is insanely cold. Okay, you can see there. how many days. I mean, I have 6 of these, so I've gone probably 4 days with these in here, and they last. I mean, they stay cold. They are insanely cold. Um, they freeze below zero, is what I've read on these things. They there's a when they ship these, there's a chemical inside of them. There's no water in them, so when you get them, if you buy them, please follow the directions. There's a chemical inside of here, so you're going to actually fill these with water yourself and then freeze them. I mean, the instructions are on here, but basically, you want to fill it with water, and then you actually want to squeeze it together in the center, then put the cap on. Because what happens when water freezes, it expands. So you want to squeeze the center together, put your cap on, and then freeze it, and then when it freezes, it levels out. When I tell you these are cold, they're insanely cold, I'm telling you. Do not put your food directly on top of these. It will freeze it. So I just recently, a week ago, and I knew better. We left and went on a trip, a couple days. I put some sandwiches on top of this thing, and they froze solid. I mean, they were frozen solid. So do not use ice in your cooler if you're going to have food, please. It's the dumbest thing ever. Ice packs are the way to go, and this is one of the best ones I've seen technology-wise lately. So, like I said, just look up Cooler Shock on Amazon. This is the largest one they make, I believe. They make different sizes. So I got this one because it fits perfectly in there. I put another one there, and then I'll even put it like that. And then I'll actually put food underneath of it. And then put food in here, and then have 3 more, 2 or 3 on top. And I mean, you know, it's no Yeti, but I mean, it works just as good as a Yeti, maybe even better. I mean, ice retention, whatever, it works. So these things are great. This is, like I said, the Igloo trail mate. Oh, and one other thing here. For peace of mind, and I don't know if this works or not, but for peace of mind, I went to Home Depot or Lowe's and I bought this. It doesn't come with a gasket. As you can see here, I added this. I don't know if this does anything or not, but I thought that gap, there's a pretty deep gap under here. So I thought, is this thing going to lose, you know, is it going to cause the ice to melt faster having that gap? So I just bought this. It's a sticky gasket. You get it in a roll. It's like $3 or $4. And I just put it, you can see right there, that's the joint. So you just peel the tape off and then just kind of press it down in there. And it actually takes quite a few uses before this gets formed. The first couple of times when I closed it, I actually had to really put some weight on it. But now it just goes right down, and it's never come off. It's been on there for almost 2 years now, so you can actually kind of hear it seal. So, oh, and then here, there's these hooks. One other warning: don't put a lot of pressure on these hooks, because you can put stuff on top of this, like beach chairs and towels, and I put a bungee cord across this, and you can kind of see I pulled it too tight and actually heard this kind of pop. So I think the adhesive kind of came off from under there. So you can see this one here doesn't do that, and this one I kind of popped it, but it's all right. It's fine. Just don't put a lot of pressure on those, because they're not designed to be cranked down on. But there's 2 on each side, so you can strap down stuff on top, which is also kind of convenient. And then the fishing rod holders are also pretty awesome. So yeah, long time review. It's working great. I just used it a week ago, and I use it more than I've ever used any of my other coolers. So check it out, and I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, bye.